Welcome back to my channel. This week, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures opened. I'm a member of the museum, so I got to come to a preview earlier this week. Now, whatever I tell you or show you about this museum, it's not going to compare to how fantastic the museum really is. And if you come down here, plan to spend the entire day. There is so much to do. This museum is at the corner of Wilshire and Fairfax. Across the street is the Peterson Automotive Museum. Next door is LACMA, the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, which has one of the most Instagrammable places in Los Angeles, Urban Light. Next to that are the La Brea Tar Pits. And if you get hungry, walk up Fairfax and you will get to the original Farmers Market and the Grove. So there is plenty to see and do in this neighborhood. The Academy Museum is housed in the old May Company building. The May Company was a large department store that became Robinson May, then was acquired by Macy's. This building, finished in 1939, is an excellent example of streamlined modern architecture. Streamlined Modern emphasizes clean, aerodynamic lines and smooth surfaces. Now, while the exterior remains essentially untouched, the interior was gutted and rebuilt for the Academy Museum. Behind the main building is a new glass and concrete sphere that houses a state-of-the-art theater and a circular open-air terrace that probably has fabulous views of the city. This part of the museum was closed while they're getting ready for the museum's opening. When you enter, the first exhibit is Stories of Cinema. I don't have too many photos of this because of restrictions on what you can film and photograph, but they have groups of 3 or 4 screens, front and back, and each screen shows a clip from a movie from the beginning of the cinema to the present. The sound rotates between the screens, so it gives you a really broad overview of the entire history of cinema. And there are round stools you can sit on to watch. The second floor starts with an exhibit on backdrop and uses Hitchcock's North by Northwest as an example. Do you recognize this mountain? No? What about now? This is a photo of Mount Rushmore before the presidents were carved into it. Mount Rushmore figured prominently into Hitchcock's movie. This is the actual backdrop used for Mount Rushmore in North by Northwest. They have an exhibit of photos from the movie and some hand-drawn storyboards. The next exhibit on the second floor features the components of a movie: acting, cinematography, sound design, editing, etc. Here's Rosebud, the actual Rosebud from Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. Here's a photo of a hand-notated script next to some camera lenses. Now, it's hard to tell in this photo, but look at how the script is bound. Scripts used to be hardbound, like a book. These are Bruce Lee's nunchucks and a costume that he wore in one of his movies. Check these out. The script for Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee's hand drawing of the dragon. A page from Lee's handwritten draft of an article called In My Own Process. A hand-drawn choreography of one of Lee's fight sequences. There was an exhibit for editing with a short documentary featuring Thelma Schoonmaker, who has been Martin Scorsese's editor for about 50 years. I think she knows a thing or two about editing. Then you have this exhibit about the history of the Academy Awards. These are actual Academy Awards, the real things. It's kind of cool being so close to one. The next room contains more history about the Academy. You can see the multiple screens. Each one of these is someone's acceptance speech, and they would play them in rotation. The next room talks about the director's role in a film and uses Spike Lee as an example, including his heroes, his film and director inspirations, and his reaction to racism. Film wouldn't exist without stories, and there are several exhibits about bringing a story to life. This is the original book for Psycho. This is the typewriter that was used to write the script for Hitchcock's Psycho. Here are some of the storyboards, and this is the storyboard for the shower scene, which is probably one of the most famous scenes from Psycho. These are the handwritten cards for the story outline for The People vs. Larry Flint. Here's a page from the script of To Kill a Mockingbird that's hand-annotated by Gregory Peck. The most extensive part of this exhibit was bringing The Wizard of Oz to life. This is the concept art for the Witch, the Lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man. These are some of the makeup and wardrobe tests for the Witch and the final Witch. I love this photograph. Here are some hair and wardrobe tests for Dorothy. The pinafore on the left is the one that Judy Garland wore, and the one on the right was worn by her stand-in. And check out the ruby slippers. Next to this was one of the most popular exhibits, costumes. They had renderings and the actual costumes. Let's head up to the third floor. This has an exhibition on animation. Also about creating characters who aren't human. The fourth floor was an exhibit of Japanese animation filmmaker Hayao Miyazaki. There were absolutely no photographs or video allowed in this exhibit, so the images I'm showing you are from the Academy. In this exhibit, they have clips from his films, a tree of life, a grassy area you can lay down and gaze up at the clouds like Kiki did. There was so much more to see at this exhibit. The Academy is showing all of his films through November 24th. The only one of his films that I've seen before is Spirited Away, which won an Academy Award in 2001. It was excellent. I am really looking forward to seeing this again and more of his film. So that is just a small sample of what this museum has to offer. I hope this helps you find your adventure. Thank you for watching.